so I have a book haul for you today. It's absolutely massive. I don't even know how many books this is, probably over 20. So I'm going to try and do this fairly quickly. I'll start with the books that I received for review. And the first one is from Walker, and it's The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender by Leslie Walton. Not 100% sure what this book is about, other than it's about a girl with wings, I think. I think it's some sort of magical realism read, not sure, but I absolutely love the cover for this. So there's that one. And the next books I actually won from Hooked on Books, which is sort of Bloomsbury on Facebook. And I basically won the Throne of Glass series in the UK covers, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight and Heir of Fire. I already have the US covers of these, but I really love the UK edition, so I'm glad to own these as well. And Crown of Midnight actually came signed, which was a really big surprise. So really happy about that. What I like about the UK editions is sort of the white on the front, and then they've got sort of colours on the back. I really like them, so I'm pleased to own those. But actually that came, I also won a tote bag. It's just black and it has sort of the main character's name and then Selena Sardothian on the back, which I absolutely love. I love tote bags anyway, but book themed tote bags are just the best. So then everything else I think I bought, which is crazy, but like I say, this is sort of collective over like a month, if not more, so it's not so crazy. I pre-ordered Heir of Fire by Sarah J Maas to match obviously my US editions. I just like owning this series in hardcover. I love that this one is green, absolutely love it. And then I'm sort of on in a phase or a kick, if you like, to try and read more adult fiction, particularly adult literary fiction. Sorry, I can't get my words out. So I ordered The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. This is out in paperback now, but because it's such a huge book, I knew the paperback would just get wrecked, so I really wanted to own the hardback. It's absolutely huge. No idea when I'll get to this, but I just got it into my head that I wanted to read it. It's got a lot of accolades and praise, so looking forward to that. I actually took a trip into the works. I was looking for a birthday present for somebody, and I have no idea what to get this person. So I thought, you know, I'll look in bookstores. Obviously, I came out with things for myself because I have problems. The first one that I got was Lullaby by Amanda Hocking, and this was only £1. I read Wake a little while ago. I didn't hate it, but I had quite a lot of issues with it. And I did say that I would like to carry on with the series, but I wasn't in a hurry to. So this was brilliant. This is the second book. And the fact that I picked it up for only £1, I'm glad I waited. Then I stumbled across some Nora Roberts books. As you guys probably know if you've followed my channel for a while, I collect Nora Roberts books, and this was brilliant. I hadn't even heard of this series or this group of books, and they are all part of the same series. They were in the 3 for £5 deal, but they only had 4 that I wanted. So I got... They're all part of the... Oh, how do you pronounce it? Stanislavski series, which is about a Ukrainian family. It's a bit like her McGregor's series, which is actually my favourite of her books, where each member of that family gets their own story. So I have Taming Natasha, Falling for Rachel, Luring a Lady, and Convincing Alex. So I think that means I only have 2 more to get, and actually looking at that, I already have one of them, so that means I only have 1 more book in the Stelansky series to get, which is brilliant. So I was really, really chuffed with that. Then I kind of made an impulsive order on Amazon. Not even gonna lie, I was at work, I had very little to do, I ended up online, and so that happened. The first one that I ordered was Frigid by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is a book I have already read on my Kindle, but I really wanted to just own a physical copy, so I just finally bit the bullet and got it. Love that book. It's not my favourite of her books, but I do like it. I ordered Trial by Fire by Josephine Angelini. I actually really, really like this cover. I read Star-Crossed by her, but I haven't finished that series. And I really like this idea of like parallel worlds, parallel Salems. Really, really like the sound of that. So, picked that up. No idea when I'll get to that. I then decided I wanted this adult book, and that's The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. I've heard this is quite dark, a little bit creepy, which, like I said, I'm trying to I'm trying to read some more adult books. That might not materialise, but it's something that I've got into my head that I want to at least try to do. And I've heard sort of a lot about this one. And what drew me to this one was on the back it says, if you only read one novel this year, make sure it's this one, and that's actually by Martina Cole. Martina Cole is my mum's favourite author. She's a crime author. Whereas this one, there's something strange about this little girl, I think. She's sort of kept in a straitjacket, in like a cell. So the fact that Martina Cole has said that when she's had a book out herself this year intrigued me. I then picked up The Rain by Virginia Bergin. This is a book that Ryan from Ryan Reads Books and I, as well as Lee from Books Knows Best, are going to try and sort of buddy read this together. We're not going to be strict about it. We're not going to like set the time that we're going to start it or anything like that. We're just all going to read it, and we're all going to sort of upload a review and sort of collaboration with each other. And this one sounds really, really good. It's about some sort of disease, I think, that is in the rain. So if you're caught out in the rain, you basically die. And the fact that I live in England, where it rains nearly all of the time, is a thought that will absolutely terrify you. I've heard very, very mixed things on it. It has an extremely good premise, so I hope that it lives up to that, because it sounds incredible. The premise is there, people. The premise is there. I then also pre-ordered One More Chance by Abby Glines. This is the sequel to Take a Chance, which I haven't read yet. But you guys know I love Abby Glines, so there's that. Then from Amazon, I bought Born and Tributary by Lisa T. Bergeron. I have already read this. This is a bind-up of 2 novellas that she released in her River of Time series. I already had this on my Kindle, but I wanted a physical copy of it. Love the series, one of my all-time favourite series. More people need to read it. Seriously, more people just need to read it. And the reason I picked this up was because book 5, the last book in the River of Time series, was released, and that's Deluge. It was originally like a trilogy, and then like the little novellas came out, and yeah, so now we have this ending. I have been warned that by Lisa herself that it's mature. It is so some people won't like what happens in it, so it's going to be hard for me to read this, but it has to be done. And then, oh my god, guys, you wouldn't even believe the trouble that I had tracking down this book. The Book Depository was not selling it. Now, I own book 1 and book 2, and they both came from the Book Depository, but they have just not sold the 3rd book, and I just didn't know what was going on. I've been searching and searching, essentially, for a copy of this book, and I finally managed to get it from a seller on Amazon, and that's Strange and Ever After by Susan Dennard. I love this cover. I love all of the covers for this series. but this one's just gorgeous. And I love Under the Dust Jacket, this sort of orange on the black, which you can't really see very well, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I haven't even read the other two, but the fact that I owned the other two in hardback, I couldn't not get this. It was really frustrating me, so I was really chuffed to actually be able to get a copy, even though it took me like ages to track that down. And then the last books that I have to show you all came from Asda. I popped in last night. I had some things to get, and they were just all there. And the last few times I've gone in Asda, there have been very few books that I've wanted. That wasn't the case yesterday. I wanted them all. The first one was The Martian by Andy Weir. I've wanted to read this for a long time after seeing it on Sue Morrow's channel, but I really wanted the US hardcover. But this was like £4. So I couldn't justify the US hardcover really, but I really like the US hardcover. If anyone for Christmas wants to, you know, get me that, I wouldn't argue, because I do love that. My mum was just like, why are you not going to buy this? And I was just like, you know, you're right. But yeah, I picked this up. It's about a guy, the rest of his team managed to successfully leave Mars, I think, but he's stuck and he's trying to survive. I think it has possibly the best first sentence of any book I've ever read. So there's that. Then they also had We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I've sort of held off on getting this book because of the immense hype around this book. Some people have praised it until the cows come home. Other people have said, you know, actually I don't get what all the hype is about. So I've sort of been really on the fence. But it was £3.85. So for that I thought, you know what, I will see what all the fuss is about, but possibly not yet. So there's that. Then they also had Unmarked by Cami Garcia, which is the sequel to Unbreakable, which I haven't read yet, but I do own. Not quite sure on this cover, to be honest, because it doesn't quite... There's not really just a lot to it. It's just a bit bland. Like, that's the cover of the first book, which I do quite like, but this one is just kind of bland. There's not really much of it, if you know what I mean. There's just not much there. But obviously I have the first one, so I needed to pick that one up. The next one that I picked up was a bit of a whim, and that was Messenger of Fear by Michael Grant. I've not read anything by Michael Grant. I know how popular he is. I know how popular his Gone series is. But I haven't wanted to start the Gone series. His Berserk series doesn't really appeal to me. But I've heard good things about this one and how dark and creepy it is. So I do quite fancy that. I love how bright this cover is, which probably might not come off very well on the camera. I love the black edges. I love Under the Dust Jacket. It's sort of like this. I really, really, really like it. And it says on the back, warning, contains scenes of cruelty and violence. So I might read this in October for a little bit of a darker, creepier read. So yeah, I wanted to try a Michael Grant book. And then the last book that I picked up, I couldn't believe it was there, is The Iron Trial by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare, book 1 in the Magisterium series. I've never read anything by Holly Black. I do have a couple of books by her on my shelf. Obviously I like Cassandra Clare, and I wanted to pick this one up. It's sort of their collaboration. I think it's more middle grade. But oh, this cover, guys, is so beautiful, and the end papers are beautiful. Under the Dust Jacket is beautiful. So was really, really pleased to pick that up. I think when I went through the checkout, people were like, what? It was quite funny to see like my shopping. Yeah, no necessities at all, no bare essentials. It was just really books. So that's everything for this haul, guys. If you've read any of these, let me know in the comments down below. If any of these have appealed to you, let me know. You guys know I love to know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Happy reading.